Okay, hello everyone. Anybody watching on replay? And hi, Lynn. We are going to do our paper pumpkin. This is the February paper pumpkin kit, and it is called Celebrate Spring. And we've got an Easter card. It's just super cute and actually really quick and easy too. So let's not delay, and we'll pop over to the desktop. So spotlight for everyone. There we go. So here's our box. And when you open it up, you have your package. So in the package, you have some this pink baker's twine, and I found that it's really nice and easy to work with. It's very soft, so very fun to do. It also has a little baggie that has some sequins in it, and they're pink and clear, so they give a little sparkle. So we're going to use that on a couple of cards. And then, of course, you have your dimensionals in here. They're regular. Are they regular? No, they're mini dimensionals in here. And we have our, I'm going to take them out. I'm going to use them. I used big dimensionals before. And then we haven't been getting this as often anymore. The little dots, the glue dots. And I always love to have them here. Lately, we've been getting the tear and tape, which I have many rolls of now, and I use them all the time. But it's nice to have some more dots, replenish my stash. So we have that, and then we have our stamp set, which has sweet spring greetings, hello friends, and happy Easter. And we're actually using all the stamps in this set, so that's always fun. And then there's also an ink spot. And this one is Shy Shamrock. So just so you know, Shy Shamrock is one of the 5 ink colors from 2024 to 2026, which means it is a retiring color, and it will be going away as of May 1st or 2nd, something like that. So if this and any of the other colors are ones that you like, you might want to take a look at grabbing them if they're still available, because people have been running for them even as we speak. So, okay, so let's take out our package. And I'm just going to move my box out of the way, and we're going to make our 3 piles, right? So we're making 3 different cards. We'll make 3 piles. So the first thing we have is our envelope. So the envelopes are all the same. They have a pattern on the back, which is nice. And of course, we're not going to be using them, so you can just put them aside and hold them for the future. Okay, so here we go. We'll start with our stack. I need to get my little cheat sheet here that's just in the instructions. So the first card base has the cover is printed, and so this is Pool Party, I believe, and this is card number 2. So that is going to go right in the center of my table here, and we can save the other one for later. Next up, we have these panels that have an oval on them, and this goes with card number 1. Okay. Next up is another card base, and this one has flowers on the front cover, and that's going to be card number 3. So here are our 3 piles that we've got going on. And this is actually pretty quick and easy, so not going to take us long. The next thing, after you put aside the rest of your card number 3, are these sheets of cutouts, punch outs. So you're going to take 1 sheet of punch outs, and we are going to punch out everything. So let's start with the big banner at the bottom or the top. Let's call it the top. Let's start at the top. Okay, so that big banner, when you get it punched out, goes with card number 1.
Wait a minute. Before you go any further, what's the card look like for number 1?
We haven't gotten to it yet.
But you put something down.
Oh, it's just this one panel. Just the panel that has the oval. So it was in between the last, the card bases.
Okay.
So look, it was right after this card base.
All right, I've got that.
And then next up were these panels.
No, I don't have those. I've got a
Possible they're in a different order.
White card.
Even on the other side?
Nope. Okay, I don't want to hold you up. Go ahead.
Well, maybe you'll come across it, but that seems weird. Did you open this earlier?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe it fell out or something. I don't know. So that is what is for card number 1. Okay. So then we were punching out. So we have the banner. You found it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. Pretty unlikely that it would be missing something, but it happens every so often. So but very unlikely though. Okay. So do you have your banner punched out?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
So that goes with card number 1. Next up, we have the square that has the dots. You're going to carefully remove that, and that goes with card number 2.
Got it.
Okay. And then we have these leaves. So you have 3 leaves there. I only have 2, and I'll tell you why in a second. But we're going to punch out those 2 leaves. So it's 3 leaves, and they actually go with card number 2. So you have 3, I have 2, and you'll see why in a second.
Got it.
Then we have our little tag, little like short tag, and that can go with card number 3. And then we've got 2 Easter eggs, and one of them goes with card number 1, and the other goes with card number 3. So the reason I only had 1 is because we actually need 4 of the little leaves to go with card number 2. So you're going to punch out 1 more leaf from another sheet of die cuts. And you're going to end up, and I'm going to punch out 2 because I had to do this before to make my samples. So you're going to end up with 4 little leaves from these sheets of die cut. All right, so we have, out of that, we have the banner and the Easter egg on card number 1. We have the square with the dots and 4 leaves on card number 2. And card number 3 has the little tag and one of the Easter eggs. Okay?
Maybe.
Okay. Yep, take your time.
I don't have a little tag.
It was part of this sheet. It's the one right here.
Then I must have it because I have those. I have the big one, but not the little ones.
Yep.
Well, go ahead.
Did you punch these all out in advance?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, it's there somewhere. So
yep, it is.
Okay, good. All right. So next we have the card base for card number 1. So it is like a vanilla. So that is going to go with card number 1. All right. Put the rest aside. And then we have 1 more sheet of punched out pieces. So you're going to pull 1, and we just need 1. We can put the rest away. And we're going to punch these out. So you have these little flowers, little yellow flowers, and those little yellow flowers at the top go with card number 3. And then you have pink flowers, and those pink flowers, there are 3 of them on the sheet. The 3 of them go with card number 2.
3 of them, you said?
3. Yep. All 3 pink flowers are with card number 2, and the yellow flowers are with card number 3.
3 of those also?
we're going to have more yellow flowers coming. But so far I've put 2 there. I'm working my way across.
Got it.
Okay, so then we have our basket. So the basket, we're punching out, and you want to take out the inside where that flower was, because you don't need that. And the resulting basket goes with card number 3. Then we have our bunny. And our bunny, this adorable little guy, goes with card number 1. The Easter eggs at the bottom go with card number 3. They're going to go in that basket later. The giant wreath goes with card number 1. Punching that out, and I'm getting rid of this piece of paper. Rid of that. And you'll see on the inside of that wreath, we're going to take out the inside. The wreath goes with card number 1, so it looks like that. And then those 3 flowers that are left, there's 2 big ones and 1 little one, they all go with card number 3. So card number 3 has 5 little yellow flowers total. 2 big and 3 little. I shouldn't have said it that way. Yeah. So 2 big yellow flowers and 3 little yellow flowers. And the Easter eggs.
Got it.
All right. Great. Okay, we're set. We can get started. So let's take out the supplies for card number 1. And what I'm going to do is just take the rest of these and just put them aside, only because I don't have much space. I have a new stand for my camera, and I just can't see as much of my desktop. We're at just a different angle. So okay, so we're going to take our card base and let's fold that so we can get it out of the way. All right. And then we have our pieces, and we're going to do our stamping next. So we're going to stamp 2 things. We are stamping the Easter egg and the banner. And what I did, because I'm working on my glass mat, I pulled out a little, this is a piercing mat, but it's, got a little foam, but it's the big thing is that it's a dark color, so I can actually see what I'm stamping. I've been having a little trouble with that. So we are going to use Shy Shamrock, which is what the spot you got is, and I'm going to use my large pad because I have one. I like to use my big pad when I can. And we're going to start with the Happy Easter. So that's the one with the plain font, Happy Easter. And we're going to, the easiest thing to do with this is to lay it down on your tabletop, and you'll notice that it is not, the letters are not lined up. They're like all a little, they're a little tilted either ways. So it looks kind of funny. When you look at it, it may not look straight. So the easiest thing to do is just place it on your desktop and then pick it up with your block. And then you're just going to tap, tap, tap and ink it up. And this is going to go right in the center of that banner. And you can see how they're like little jaunty stepping letters. They jaunt a little. See how the ER goes up a little bit? So that's how that looks. All right. Next, we're going to do the Easter egg. Now, you can choose either one, but they use, so you see there's 2 different Easter eggs, one that has circles and one that has like little flowers and stripes. We're using the one with the circles just because that's what they used on the sample. And that is going to get inked up, and we're stamping it right on to that little Easter egg. And this is where the dark mat comes in handy for me so that I can actually see where I'm stamping. And I still may not get it right, but I have less of an excuse. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay. So that's all the stamping we need to do on this card. So let's go ahead and put that away for now. I don't make a mess. I find that this green is very juicy and I get it everywhere. So I'm half green today, so it's fine. It's all good. It means I was stamping, right? Okay, so now we've got all of our pieces ready to assemble. You with me there, Lynn? Are we good?
Yes, we're good.
Okay, good. I just wanted to take a checkpoint. Okay, so let's start with that big panel that has the oval on it, and we're going to just use regular adhesive. You could use the dots that they provide, but I'm using my Stampin' Seal as I usually do, and it goes right onto the card front. Let's dress this things up a little bit. All right. Now we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of the wreath because this is going to get popped up. And since they're little dimensionals, you might want to use quite a few, but I do have some big ones here and I'm going to just use those for now. They had like 10 little dimensionals on. I'm just going to do like 3. I'm using the side strips, which is something that you can do, so that takes up a little more real estate there. And again, the side strips are just the negative space from the dimensionals. So I did 2 lines and then 1 up here. You could use more than that. You can use less than that, but I find that to be, for me, that's enough. I don't need it to stay popped up, but you certainly could use as many or as few as you'd like. And once you've got the dimensionals how you like it, you're going to just lay it over the oval so you know exactly where it's going to go because you're covering that oval line. And it just rests right on top. And so that you can see the pink panel showing through, which I think is really, really cute. All right. We are going to put let me show you the finished card just so that you know what we're marching towards. This is the finished card. So we're going to be putting the bunny and the egg inside the center of that wreath. And so we're going to use dimensionals for this. Again, you can use your mini. I'm going to just use a strip. Again, just using the edges of my dimensionals. So many partial sheets around from my classes. And when you put it in, you're putting it right in the center. The ears are going to cover just a little bit of the top of the wreath. And you want to have the little hand just touching the left side of the wreath. So it looks like that. The little hand is over here, just touching, and then the ears are touching here. You've got some space that's going to get covered by our banner later. And that's how we have that. And for the Easter egg, it's also going to get a dimensional on the back. I'll pick it up. Sorry?
1 dimensional?
I just use 1. You can use as few or as many as you like. And I just put it right in the smack in the center. Again, I'm using bigger ones. So if you're using minis, maybe use 2. And it's going to go underneath the bunny's hand and just barely overlapping on the edge of the wreath. So it's right over here. So underneath, and that's just so that it all looks like it flows.
Very cute.
Easy peasy. Yep, super cute. Okay, so now we're going to take our banner and we're going to adhere it, and we're going to just use regular adhesive or the dots, not dimensionals for this. And I'm just putting it on the sides so that it's going to just stick to the wreath itself. Looks super cute. You've got the bottom of the wreath sticking out. You've got the top of the banner touching all the other elements. so it helps things to flow. Love how that looks. And the hardest part of the entire thing, of course, is tying the bow. So you can always skip this part if you wanted to, but I'm just tying the bow as it's attached to the twine, or baker's twine, as it's attached to the roll, and I'm just making just a bow. And when I get it the way I like it, I don't want it to be too big because it's going under the bunny's chin, kind of like a bow tie. And I'm going to use my scissors to cut. Here we go. So these are just regular scissors, so all my other scissors are busy. And once you have the bow the way you like it, we're going to adhere it right under his chin. And for this, I will use those little dots because that's what I would use anyway to adhere ribbon. I like to use glue dots for that. So I just use my take your pick tool. I peeled one off and then I take off the backing. And then I can take my bow and just stick it right in the center there. Yeah, super cute. All right. Well, let me know when you've got that done. I know it's a little tricky. Get the bow, get them tied, get the glue dot. The last thing we're going to do is attach some of those sequins. Always add a little bling if you can. All right, now I have to find my sequins. I put them over here. Get them out. I may or may not have dumped my other card stuff. Let me put that back and see if I can find my sequins. So, since we're going to use 5, we're going to use 3 pink, and here they are, 3 pink and 2 clear. And you can put them anywhere you want. I had a little trouble finding where they were when I looked at the samples, but I saw definitely they had a pink one on the Happy Easter, and then they also had a clear one underneath. So we have, that's 2. So we got a pink and a clear. And then they just scattered 2 more pink ones and 1 more clear one. So I'm gonna go, I didn't like the way I placed them earlier, so I'm moving them around. So I'm putting 3 over here in a little triangle. So I have 2 pink and 1 clear over here, and then a pink and a clear right on the label. It just adds that little extra sparkle, which is always nice. And that's it. Card number 1. All right, so just let me know when you've got that done.
Okay.
Yeah, great. I just love that little bunny. So cute. Okay, on to card number 2. So card number 2 has the little pink flowers. And we're just stamping one thing on this card. And that is the square. And we are going to use, they use the saying, the sweet spring greetings. You, of course, could change that. You could use the Happy Easter. You could use something else that you've got in your stash. I'm going to just stick with these sweet spring greetings. I'm going to find my ink pad now. What did I do with it? It's amazing. There's just not that much. It just can't go that far, and I still can't find them. Great. And when you stamp this, because it has multiple fonts, the easiest thing to do is make sure the spring, which is that straight up and down font, to make sure that's straight, and then everything else will fall into place. So I put the spring right in the center of my square, hopefully getting it straight, and that's how it comes out. Sweet spring greetings. right. And that is all we need to stamp on this. Okay. Putting this away so I don't make a mess. Make a mess anyway, but all right. You all stamped up there?
Yeah,
okay.
Dropped all the flowers.
Take your time.
How many pink flowers?
3. 3 pink flowers and 4 leaves.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
All right. Okay. So we're going to take that sentiment square and we are going to use dimensionals, and it is going to go in the center of the square that is printed on the card base. Now this is just make sure we know. Let's go ahead and fold our card. So we're folding it and giving it a good crease. I usually do that first to get it out of the way. I forgot. And this is a horizontal card. You, of course, could make it vertical if you wanted to, but this was designed as a horizontal card. So the nice thing is it's a square. It's right centered in the middle of the card. So whichever way you do it is fine. All right. And for the rest of these, all of these die cuts are going to be put on with just regular adhesive. So I'm going to flip them all over and I'm going to just use my Stampin' Seal and put my Stampin' Seal on each one. It doesn't need a ton. I should be using, it would be better if I used my silicone mat, but it's in the other room. So I'm going to have to scrub my glass mat when I'm done here. You can see I have some adhesive on here. Little alcohol wipe, and I get that off. All right, so I've got all of them. All of them have a little bit of adhesive on the back. And I'm going to start in the top. They're the same. So the leaves, I think the flowers do go 2 separate directions, but the leaves are all the same. And so for this, I'm going to put 1 leaf in the corner facing that way and 1 leaf coming down as if it was a wreath, right? And adhering it just to the square. Okay, so I'm putting it on the square because I don't want it to flatten against the card base. So if that becomes a problem, like I have a little too much, I'm going to tuck it in a little further so that it does not adhere to the card base. So I've got 2 leaves in the top right corner. And my flowers are sticking to my sweater. It's cold in here. All right, there it is. And then we're going to do the same thing at the bottom. So we're going to come around that edge. And so this one is going to, in order to keep it flowing, I'm going to put it that way. And you can see it got stuck to my sweater and I have a little fuzzies. Handmade, right? The card is a handmade card. It is what it is. All right. Good?
Right.
Okay, great. So now we're going to take a look at our flowers. And I'm going to just hold them in my hand. So you see we have these 2 are going opposite direction. And this one is the same as this one. So I'm going to put the one that is swinging this way up and around like that. And then I'm going to put another one down here. And so it's covering up the leaves quite a bit, but that is how they designed it. So here, again, I didn't take out the sample, but you could always see it on your instructions. But this is how we want it to look. And then this one comes over here, and it gives us just sweet little extra accents. So, all right. And then all we have left to do is add some of the sequins. So they used a whole bunch on this card. They used 6. I like to use odd numbers, but because they're so pale, I don't think it matters. You can certainly use as many or as few as you'd like. I don't know if I'm going to be using any. Oh, here they are. I lost them again. But from what I could tell, I'm going to show you where I put the sequins. Again, I do like to try to mimic exactly what they do, at least for the class, so that you have a good idea. And so I've got a pink one here and a pink one down here, and then I'm going to put another pink one up in this corner. So we've got that. And then we can put our clear ones. So I've got one floating around here. So I'm going to put a clear one over here. And again, a clear one just over here. And to me, that looks like enough. But you could certainly add more if you wanted to. So a pretty sweet and easy card. The saying definitely takes center stage for this and is the focal point. So that is good. And that's it on that card. Just let me know when you've got that done.
I thought you said there were 4 pink flowers.
Nope, 3 pink flowers and 4 leaves.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. So the last card, this is the one with the basket. So I'm going to remember this time. So this is what we're making. Super, super cute. So we have 2 things to stamp. So again, let's fold our card to get it out of the way. I love, love, love the little flowers they have pre-printed on here. I just think they're so sweet. Actually, we're stamping 3 things. I keep forgetting. I forgot when I made the sample too. So let's start with, we have our, I'm going to take this out again. We've got our tag. So we want to poke out that hole. We're going to need that out later. So I may as well get it out of there now. I found it to be really stuck in there. So I had to use my piercing tool to get it out. And then we are going to stamp on the other egg. And so grab our stamps. So we're going to use the egg that has the flowers and the stripes. Mount it onto my little block. I like to do it in the corner when I'm dealing with these blocks. And it just goes straight on top. Do as well as this one. There's that. And then for the words, this one used hello friend. And that's just going to get stamped right on that little tag. And putting it at the corner. Just get stamped right on straight. And I line up the friend because again, that's the straight font. So it's a lot easier than trying to line up the hello. Let me know when you're done with that because then we're going to move on to something a little different.
All right. I still can't find the small square.
The tag?
Right.
Oh.
I have looked all over.
Well, it was on that sheet, so you know you had it at one point.
Nope. But go ahead.
Okay, so we're going to stamp on the card front. And when I you know, you could stamp with it folded or you can open it up. I like to open it up if I can. And I just want to make sure that I don't stamp over the center line for it to go across, you know, onto the back of the card. And what we're doing is we're stamping some grass. So this is what the grass stamp looks like. And I don't know if it has an up and down, to be honest with you. I did it like this, where like the loopy parts were at the top and the single parts were at the bottom. And they stamp it 3 times on the card front. And so we do one on the left side, so down here, and it's below the flowers, not amongst the flowers. And then I'm going to stamp another one on the right, and then a third one just in between and below. And it just gives the semblance of grass so that the, you know, the basket is sitting in the grass. So it's just 3 stamps of the grass and give it that look. I think it would be fun to stamp the grass and then stamp the eggs in different colors, you know, to make a card front with just the Happy Easter message. I think that would be super cute. That is, so let me know when you're done with that.
Okay.
Great. Okay. So we are going to take our basket and we are going to adhere it to the front of the card, but we're going to use dimensionals. And this is where those little minis are going to come in handy. So I am going to use the minis because I want to put a couple. Again, they used a whole bunch. I'm just going to use one at the top and one on each side. And then, because I can, I'm going to go back to my, you know, partial sheets of regular adhesive and put the equivalent of 2 at the bottom, like so. Probably should have put this one down a little bit further because we're going to be tucking some things in. So let's put that at the bottom like that. And that is going to get adhered just partially in the grass and in the center of the card. So that is how it looks up. It helps if you peel off the backings of the little minis. I did not do it. Doesn't stick very well if you don't peel the backing. Okay. So that's how that looks. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our eggs in the basket. All the eggs are going to go in the same basket, okay? We're going to put all our eggs in the same basket. And we're going to just use regular adhesive for this. Now, when they did it, they glued this on before they put the basket on, but I couldn't visualize it, and it was easy enough to just tuck it in. So I'm just tucking it right in, seeing where I want it to go. Maybe I'll pull it up a little bit. And that's where the eggs are in the basket. Nice and easy. And of course, because we have an egg, a separate egg, we can actually use a little dimensional on the back of this one that we just stamped. So we're going to put that into the basket as well, right over the one that it looks like. So there's one nice shy shamrock looking egg right in the front. And we're just going to tuck this in and cover it up. So it looks like gives it a little dimension. So we've got our eggs flat in the basket, except for the one that we stamped, and that is raised, and the basket is all raised up. For the flowers, all the flowers are going to get regular adhesive, except for one of the little ones. One little one gets a little dimensional, okay? So I'm going to do like I did on that first card where I put, or the second card where I put the adhesive, just using my regular Stampin' Seal on the back of all the flowers except for one little one, and that little one is going to get a dimensional. And then we're going to put them onto the card. So we're going to take one of the big ones and we're going to adhere it to the basket handle. And then we're going to take one of the little ones and tuck it behind so that it shows through, but maybe just allowing it to touch a little, or not almost touch, look like it touches a little bit. Keep that flow going. And then we're going to take the other big one and put it at the bottom of the basket. So again, we're doing that visual triangle thing. So I've got a big one on the handle, a little one behind it, a big one at the bottom of the basket, and then I'm going to take the one that needs a dimensional, and I am going to peel it off, and I am going to put it further down at the bottom of the basket, but I don't want it to be on the basket. So normally what I would do is put my dimensional here and then stick it on, but I forgot. So I'm just making sure that the dimensional on the back of the flower is not on top of the basket, because that just gives it extra lift that I don't think we really need or want. Just makes mailing easier. And then that final little one that has regular adhesive is just going to go into the grass. And that gives you all your little flowers, which is always nice to have. So Lynn, if you didn't find your little tag, you can certainly make one very easily out of just some white paper.
Right.
You could even just make it a square. It doesn't have to be a tag. But what when you have that together, you can just stamp your sentiment on there. You could even make it a different shape so that you could get your Happy Easter on there. That
Right.
might work for you too. So we're going to take, because I'm using it as a tag with the little hole, and you don't have to do the hole if you don't want to, since you're making your own. We want 10 inches of the ribbon. And so I measured that down here on my glass mat has that. And just so you see how they did it, they folded the twine in half, and at the fold, they pushed, so you see I pinched it really tight. Let's see if I can show you. There it is. You can see that I pinched it really tight, and then I'm putting it right through the hole. And what this allows is for us to get it like this. So it has a loop coming through, and I'm just going to take the ends of the twine and come back through. And normally when I do a tag, I just leave it like that. But what they did is they then tied a bow. So I thought that was a nice look, actually, because I'm not using it as a tag per se, tying it onto a package or anything. I'm just using it like this. So I tied the bow right at the top. And I'm going to fiddle with it a little to get it the way I like. So I get a little bow at the top. And then this is going to get adhered to the side of the basket with regular adhesive. So I'm just going to put my regular adhesive down and put that on. And I have a cute little card. And I'm just going to trim off the excess because 10 inches is way more than you need, but it does help to be able to tie it. Trim even a little more. Yeah. All right, and this card does not have any gems on it. So, there's a lot going on in this card. So that is the final card. So while you're finishing that up, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to show some alternative projects. So let's share Here we go. And I'll make it a presentation, maybe. Slideshow, here we go, the beginning. So here's the first set of alternative projects. This is from our very own Allison Ephraim. She's a member of my team, and she came up with these. We have the first one is a gatefold, it's not really a gatefold. It's where the front is folded back, so that and then you'd hear the basket only on the left side, so that when it opens, it has you can put your message on the inside. This one just simplified this and saved her label there in the center for another project. So she's got that there, and she's got, separating. She was able to make a lot more cards because she separated out, the bunny is on a separate card from the wreath. And then she even added the flowers from the last one. So fun way to spread out the products that are included into a number of different cards. This one is from Brian King. I always love what he's got going on. And what he did is he made this a fun fold where he cut the card front, and he put the Happy Easter here. And this opens, just the middle of the card opens, so you can see that the bunny ears are sticking out above it. So I thought that was a very clever, cute way to do that. Next up, I love this. So we have that stamp set that has rows of little animals. So we've got puppies on this one. They also have kitties, but look how she put the puppies frolicking in the flowers. I just thought this was so clever, and chasing after butterflies, and I love this card. I just thought that was a great use of those little flowers. That's Cheryl Hamilton. Next up, we have Laura Seeke. If you have a chance to look up Laura Seeke's projects on Facebook, she does lots and lots of alternative projects, and this is one of them. She just folded that card front in half and had the wreath come out above it. So that is just a different way to make the card, and you can still write on the inside. She made it into a birthday card. Always fun. This is Emily Kimmy. So she just took the basket and the eggs and left everything else, out behind. And then she stamped the eggs down the right side of the card, which I thought was super clever too. And these little embellishments here are part of our Easter embellishments. I'm not sure if they're still available, but I know they were out of stock for a little while, but she used those. So really cute. And look at all these cards that Jessica did. So she just separated out all the pieces and came up with a whole bunch of different designs. This little bunny came from something else. I'm not sure what, but I'm thinking maybe the set we used to have that was like Peter Rabbit, and because it looks like one of those Peter Rabbit guys. This one too up here, but she mostly used the supplies in the kit. So I like this watering can too. I don't know where that was from, but anyway, lots of fun different ways to use this. Mixing things up. And this is Laura Elizabeth. I don't know. I'm sure. I don't know what her last name is. But I thought these were nicely done. She used some embossing folders. These look like older ones that we had, but she just, she stamped a label and put the little flowers behind it, added some extras. She used the scalloped edge die cut that we used to have to cut the card front from this one. So, and she's got the bunny over here. So cute, I thought too. And then we have Melinda did these Dutch doors. And so Dutch doors are where the top folds down, and then at the bottom of the card, they fold out. So you can see they're all designed kind of the same way, making like those old-fashioned Dutch doors. So I thought that was pretty creative. You can look her up. I've got her website here. And then we have Pamela Blackwell. So what she did is she made this little shaker card. She inserted it into one of our clear envelopes and tossed in some of our gold sequins, the loose gold sequins. She put them in there, and then she put it on the card front. That's how we do these little fake shaker cards. And then on top of it, she added the ribbon and the bunny. And the Happy Easter. So super cute. She's one of our artisan design team members. So you knew it was going to be good. And then finally, it's Rose Ward, and this is a double page scrapbook page. And so you could see how she used the egg stamps all over. She used some of the flowers. She's got the basket here. She's got the bunny over here. So she really made great use of all the different elements of the card, and then she's going to add photos later and journaling. So those are my alternative projects for today, and yeah, that's what I've got for the class. So Lynn, which card is your favorite?
Oh, I think the one with the bunny.
Yeah, me too. It's so cute.
Yes.
Yeah. And I like the wreath too. I like separating them. So, yeah. Okay. We're in agreement. But they're all kind of cute too. I like the basket as well. So this one is kind of, I don't know, kind of plain, but still a pretty card. All right. Well, that is all I have for this month. We'll be back next month, the first Thursday of the month, to do the March kit, which will be sent out soon. If you haven't already subscribed or, signed up for your paper pumpkin kit, you can do so by the 10th of March, and then you will receive the kit in time for our class on the first Thursday in April. That's it. Lynn, you got anything else for us tonight?
No, I think it's good. I still haven't found those little squares.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll turn up, but like you said, that's an easy one to replicate. That's just a piece of white paper.
Right.
So
right.
At least it wasn't one of the die cuts or something. That's frustrating. So
I went ahead and put a bow on the Easter basket instead.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that way you're all set for whenever you decide what to do. Or not do anything. You don't even have to have a sentiment on there. You can just leave it with that bow. That'll be good too. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you again for joining, and we will see you the next time. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.